Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this online lecture series. I'm your teacher, Neha Pradeep Joshi. Um, in previous lectures, so far, we have completed one chapter, Pillars of Democracy. Then we completed one poem, There is Another Sky. We have thoroughly discussed both these texts, and you have already completed all the exercises on that. Now we have to deal with one important part of our syllabus, that is History of English Drama Section 4. See, I told you while discussing the syllabus with you की ह्यावेळी तुम्हाला एक नवीन टाईप ऑफ लिटरेचर इंट्रोड्यूस झालाय और जॉनरा इंट्रोड्यूस झालाय, दॅट इज वन ॲक्ट प्ले. प्रिव्हियसली तुम्ही कधीही असा कुठला टाईप स्टडी केलेला नाही आहे. इट वॉज नॉट देअर इन युअर सिलेबस अप अंटिल नाव. But as you are in a college now, you are supposed to learn everything in detail. So that's why they have given or introduced this part in your syllabus. And from exam perspective, let me make you aware that this part is going to be there for your semester exam. हां, तुम्हाला डिटेल सिलेबस काय असेल सेमिस्टरचं तो मी सांगणारच आहे. बट हॅव दिस आयडिया की सेक्शन 4मधला 4.1 and 4.2, this is going to be there for this semester exam. Okay, and if you look at it in your textbook, it is bit lengthy, so we have to now cover this. We are going to cover it in detail, but that will surely take a lot of time, so be prepared for that. You have to start studying whatever we have completed. आता थोडा त्या पर्स्पेक्टिव्हनी अभ्यास करायला सुरुवात करा. आय गिव्ह यू द सिलेबस वन्स इट इज क्लिअर व्हॉट इज ओमिटेड अँड व्हॉट इज टू बी देअर इन द सेमिस्टर. पण तोपर्यंत जे काही झालं आहे ते रिवाईज करायला सुरुवात करा. अँड वी आर स्टार्टिंग विथ दिस. अँड इफ यू रिमेंबर वाईल I was teaching you in a classroom, I already completed this part, History of English Drama. Okay? Ki, what is drama, then what are the elements of drama, objectives, not objectives, this types of drama, tragedy, comedy, and tragic comedy. And then this discussion, the elements of drama, I have already talked about it a lot in a classroom. And see, it will not be there for any detailed kind of a question. एक्झाम मध्ये जरी काही विचारलं गेलं तरी दॅट विल बी ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह टाईप किंवा एक्सप्लेन इट इन वन सेंटेन्स वगैरे असंच काहीतरी असणार आहे. सो गो थ्रू एव्हरीथिंग, थोडं रिवाईज करा, त्यावरून तुम्हाला लक्षात येऊ शकेल. ओके, देन अ शॉर्ट हिस्ट्री ऑफ ड्रामा, English theatre, Elizabethan and Restoration theatre, and then modern theatre plus Indian theatre. I have talked about it in a classroom. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat it because it is not that short. Okay, so if I spend my time on that, I'll need 2 more lectures to start with actual one act play. Okay, so go through it. If you have any doubt, then I'll explain it one more time. But make an effort to at least read it once, and it is not that hard. It is just an information that you have to know at this level. तेवढं एकदा वाचलं तरी तुम्हाला क्लिअर होईल. ओके, तरीही काही प्रॉब्लेम असेल, यू कॅन आस्क मी एनी टाईम. देन हिअर हिस्ट्री ऑफ ड्रामा. नाव आय कॅनॉट रोटेट इट that much because it is PDF. So in your textbook, see this page number 134. There they have given one chart in which there are periods in history, that is medieval period, Renaissance period, Restoration period, Victorian period, modern period, and post-modern era. Okay, so these are the periods in history. When we talk about history, we divide the timeline in such types. Okay, and then what types of plays were popular or what types of plays were created in those times, they have given examples of that. Okay, and then there are some examples of actual plays. So read this list. Okay, as I told you, nothing from this will be asked for detailed question. तुम्हाला डिटेल क्वेश्चन येणार आहे तो वन ॲक्ट प्ले वरतीच असेल, बट दिस ऑल विल बी देअर फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह क्वेश्चन. हां, सो सपोज इट कॅन बी लाईक ऑल फॉर लव्ह is dash tragedy or comedy. Then here it is given it is a tragedy, and who is the writer of that play or the playwright of the play? Then John Dryden. This is what you are supposed to know. So go through the list. What I'm going to deal with is one act play. There is an introduction of this relatively new type of genre for you. Okay, one act play is what basically in Marathi we call it ekankika. Okay, ki consider it and compare it with any play that you have seen. One act play is very short. It is not at all lengthy. It does not take lot of time. So is it incomplete play, or is it a non-serious kind of a play? It is not like that. But what is there in this type of drama or this type of play, we are going to see now. Okay, a one act play is not exactly a shortened play. हां, जसं सांगितलं जसं की मोठ्या प्लेचा छोटा पार्ट असा त्याचा अर्थ नाही आहे. दिस प्ले इज कम्प्लीट इन इटसेल्फ. ओके, it is a complete story that has to be performed on the stage in stipulated time. Because it is a one act play, there is not lot of time available for the people who are performing or the people who are directing it. Okay, so they have to stay within the timeline or the time limit. It has its own features and characteristics. As like any another kind of drama, it has its own features. The action is confined to a single place and the number of characters is limited. Because see, if you have only suppose 30 minutes, then you cannot talk about many places or many characters. See what happened if I talk about 10 places and I take 20 characters. I won't be able to stress any one out of that. Okay, and as you know that if there is a story, then there has to be at least one prominent figure, one main figure. त्याच्यावरती जास्त स्ट्रेस झाला पाहिजे. सो इफ आय ॲड मोर कॅरेक्टर्स इन टू माय स्टोरी, then others will be given more importance and the main character will receive less attention. So that is what we have to avoid in one act play. Okay, simplicity of design and quick effect are its features. Because there is not lot time available, they have to give attention, or they have to consider these aspects of like design and effects. Because the action has to be fast paced, they cannot take lot of time. Remember this. The prescribed one act play will help the learners to understand the following features. There is one act play which is given to us, that is The Rising of the Moon by Lady Gregory. Before starting that, we have to see the features of one act play. Okay, now first, here are some features of one act play. First is plot. Okay, the plot of one act play is limited to a single interesting episode. The plot of any piece of literature is a story that has been woven into a closely related chain of events arranged in sequence. Okay, now in the previous lecture that I conducted in the classroom, I have talked about plot. Plot is what? Main storyline. इवन मी तेव्हा सुद्धा सांगितलं होतं, अ प्लॉट इज बेसिकली अ चेन ऑफ इव्हेंट्स. दोज आर रिलेटेड, they happen one after another, and they give us more information about the central character and other related characters. That is plot. कुठलाही प्रकारचा ड्रामा असू दे, लेट इट बी वन ॲक्ट प्ले or any detailed full-fledged play, there has to be a plot. Otherwise it is not at all possible to convey the story, right? Aristotle says conflict is the soul of the drama. We usually have conflict in a play. Modern plays of the theater of the absurd are an exception to this. Okay, now in a plot, basically there is one idea, main central idea, or then there is one problem which is faced by the people. And if that problem is not there, then there is no purpose in listening to their story or watching their story, right? की एखादी मूवीसुद्धा जरी तुम्ही पाहिली तर त्या मूवीमध्ये फक्त देर इज अ हिरो, देर इज अ हिरोईन, अँड दे मीट अँड दे गेट मॅरिड, अशी स्टोरी नसते. देर हॅज टू बी अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, अदरवाइज इट इज नॉट अ स्टोरी, राईट? दिस इज वॉट वी हॅव टू कन्सिडर while talking about the plot. And this Aristotle, now if I start talking about him, then we'll definitely need another lecture just for that. You just now he is the classic critic and philosopher that we have in English. Okay, and the literature that he produced or the thoughts that he has given, they are very valuable and they are cherished because of their quality. If we have time, I'll talk about him. Right now you just have to know this: conflict is the soul of the drama. And this another theater of the absurd, प्रिव्हियस हिस्ट्री ऑफ ड्रामामध्ये याचा रेफरन्स आला आहे. वन्स यू रीड इट तुम्हाला लक्षात येईल. देन देर इज अ थीम. अ थीम इज अ सेंट्रल आयडिया अराउंड विच द प्लॉट रिव्हॉल्व्स. ओके, it is directly stated through the playwright's instructions, dialogues, and other features. It focuses on the subject of the play. It can be implicit or explicit. There can be a number of sub-themes that portray human life. The theme helps to convey the message of the playwright. Now, basically, theme is what type of drama that is. That is theme. Suppose political, social, religious, or simply comical, tragical, or whatever that is theme. What is the main idea which is going to be there? So suppose my drama is political, for example Hamlet. Okay, then that is a personal also, then there is political element also, there is psychological element also, and then there are sub themes. There is a story of Hamlet, his mother, then some another character, some another kingdom which is going to wage a war against Denmark, and so there is one theme, and then there are number of sub themes. Okay, then setting or location is a place where a story takes place. Okay, a drama is meant for stage performance. The location or setting is revealed through effective use of variety of props. The unity of time, place, and action has to be taken into consideration while setting the stage. The proper use of setting props helps the play to be impactful. Now, if you do remember in a classroom, when I was talking about history of English drama, तेव्हा मी या सेटिंग बद्दल तुम्हाला काही सांगितली होती. आय गेव यू टू एक्झाम्पल्स. One is of GB Shaw and one is of Prashant Damle's. Okay, I told you that while they were performing on stage, कि there was one piece or cutout of waterfall, huh, की जो उलटा लावला गेला होता, and they were singing in front of that waterfall, and therefore they actually wanted it to be tragic, and somehow people started laughing at them, right? So this is what you have to consider when you are talking about the setting, how the play and the people who are playing or the people who are acting, how they will appear on the stage. That is setting. And another one is GB Shaw. I told you that while writing his plays, he was so accurate about everything. He used to give very small details as well. So म्हणून सांगितलं जातं, if you want to direct any of his plays, then just take his book and copy everything on the stage. That is it. He simply used to give very small and minute details, like there is a wall, then there is a frame, then there is one flower pot, then there is a curtain, then on right side is this, and then on left side it is a sofa or everything like that. So you don't have to do anything as per your idea. Everything is given there. That is setting, the stage direction and everything. Okay, so this is another element or feature of one act play as well, because see, फार थोडा वेळ आहे, and to make this story effective and to have that impact, the setting is very essential. Okay, then fourth, language. We all know that the pen is mightier than the sword. Likewise, words are the weapons of a writer. There is another language too. Have you enjoyed films of Charlie Chaplin, who uses non-verbal communication very effectively through his body? In any of his movies, Charlie Chaplin has not even spoken a single word, but still we can get what he is trying to say, what he actually means when he performs something. That is non-verbal. And when I'm talking to you, मी तुमच्याशी बोलते आहे आणि तुम्ही ऐकता आहात, that is verbal communication. I'm using words. And non-verbal communication is what? When I'm simply using gestures or actions to convey the meaning. That is non-verbal communication. Okay? Yeah, it conveys emotions and underlying meanings profoundly. One act play has a profound effect due to its brevity of words. If the dialogues are witty, pungent, and concise, they add to the overall impact of the play. For example, Shakespeare's Hamlet says, "To be or not to be." Even I told you that this is an example of inversion, right? Uh, if you consider any of Shakespeare's dramas, they are very much popular not only because of the story but also for the dialogues or the monologues in them. Now, this to be or not to be, that is the question. That is actually a very big soliloquy, but this part is very famous. Okay, so this is what stays in the memory of people for a long time. So you have to consider the language that you are going to use. The style of the language is important. Language is not just English. Okay, how you are going to choose your words, or how you are going to convey your message through the language, that is important. Okay. The dialogues of the playwright use techniques like projection, articulation, phrasing for effective communication. Huh? There cannot be many lengthy sentences there. Okay, people do not have that a lot of attention span as well. So you have to make it simple, but at the same time, it has to be meaningful and impactful. Okay. Poetic devices and figures of speech like imagery, symbolism, personification, humor, embedded in wit, pun, irony, and paradox, make the dialogues extremely powerful. As I told you, Zashib, the language used in prose and the language used in poem, that is different. You have to use different techniques and devices to make it different. In the same way, the language which is there in a drama has to be beautified. It has to be different than normal but impactful at the same time. Okay? The tone of the dialogue can be comic, ironic, light, playful, sad, serious, sinister. Sinister is what? Which does not have right intention. Then solemn, somber, threatening, etc. The tone, कसे असतील dialogues, it is about that. Now again, let me make it clear, nothing from this will be asked for a detailed question. This all will be there for objective MCQs also. Okay, but give it a thought, this is important, do not neglect anything from this. Then characters. um, in any kind of a drama there are characters, otherwise it is not possible to perform. There are limited number of characters in a one act play, as I told you, की जर टाइम माझ्याकडे कमी आहे, आय कॅनॉट टेक मेनी कॅरेक्टर्स अँड मेक देम परफॉर्म ऑन द स्टेज. Okay, it will not have a, you know uh, the expected impact. Okay, there are two types of characters, main and supporting. E.M. Foster, in his Aspects of the Novel, divides characters in two types, round and flat. आता हे नेम E.M. Foster, Aspects of the Novel, हे माहिती पाहिजे, मे बी दॅट विल बी देअर फॉर ॲज अन ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह क्वेश्चन. ओके, असं प्रिपरेशन करायचं आहे, नॉट डिटेल क्वेश्चन नाही, बट ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह काइंड ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन can be asked on this. Then what are the types? Round, the one that develops through the experiences and evolves as a dynamic persona. Hmm? Basically जी मेन कॅरेक्टर्स असतात, इनिशियली दे आर समहाव डिफरंट, अँड इन द एंड when all the action is completed, they are totally different. They have undergone a lot of changes, conflicts, their philosophies changed, and the way they behave, that is also changed. So they are round characters. They have or they are called three dimensional characters. Okay, and then there are flat characters. uh, is one who remains the same throughout the story. They do not have lot of significance. They are just there as fill in the blanks, or they just support the main action. So there is no need of change in their character. They are flat. They are also known as caricatures and recognized only through one characteristic. They have no another purpose. They just serve the main action. The story revolves around the main character and characters who face a dilemma or conflict. Okay, now here starts the most important part from this uh, information, features of one act play. Now these were that we read until now, they were in general, as a discussion, and now this is pointed discussion. So we have to deal with it. I'm not going in much detail right now. Whilst reading the one act play, I'll talk about each point, but as of now, let us just see what is there. Okay. Features of one act plays: it has one or more scenes. Okay, there cannot be many scenes, but yeah, there are scenes. There is chain of events, so many scenes are supposed to be there. It is concise in manner. I told you, because there is not lot time available, they have to be concise. Hmm? Just like in any Zoom meeting, I cannot talk more than 40 minutes. Or in your lecture, I cannot talk more than 40 minutes, or 35 minutes, like that. Concise in manner. If I have a time limit, then I have to be concise. Then it has a single dominant theme which produces singular effect. Okay, they don't go on talking about many things. Okay, if there is the theme is political, then they will talk about all the political actions only, or the consequences only. बाकीच्या गोष्टींबद्दल ते नाही बोलणार. त्यामध्ये थोडंसं सोशल, थोडंसं रिलिजियस असं नाही. The theme is political, so they have to talk about political things only, because it is one act play, right? It treats problems of everyday life. It has beginning, the middle, and an end. Okay, this is how any kind of a drama is divided into: beginning, middle, and end. जसा कुठलाही पिक्चर आपला असतो तसंच आहे. The stages are as follows. Stages म्हणजे कुठल्या ड्रामामधल्या स्टेजेस. ड्रामाचं स्टेज नव्हे. Exposition. When the action starts, that is exposition. It is brief. It introduces everything. Brief ka, because it is one act play, they cannot talk about it a lot. They just give you an idea. Conflict. Development of drama is a backbone. They introduce what is the main conflict. Then climax. Turning point, important part. Just like in a movie, climax is what decides what is going to be the final outcome of the thing that you are watching. In that way, climax. Then denouement. Brief often overlaps climax, which is what? The final outcome, the end result. Okay, this is important. Stages in one act play: exposition, conflict, climax, and denouement. आत्ता फक्त वाचून ठेवा. We'll talk about it in detail when we actually start reading that the rising of the moon. Then it gives introduction of stage direction. It creates mood of atmosphere. It has unity of time, place, action. It has simplicity of plot, concentration of action, and unity of impression. See, now this all is going to be there for objective, so just read and keep it in your mind. Do not go in much detail, but consider this as it is one act play and there is a time limit. फार काही करू शकत नाहीत. They have to be concise, precise about everything. Okay, it has limited characters. It presents a question, answers of which are eagerly awaited by the audience. Okay, आता सी वेटिंग पिरियड माझा फार कमी असणार आहे इन वन ॲक्ट प्ले, बिकॉज आय वोंट हॅव टू सिट देअर for more than what, half an hour or simply an hour. Okay, so what they introduce initially, they have to give me the final answer or outcome very shortly. So they just stress the main points. They focus more on the theme, conflict, and they bring out the final outcome effectively, which will be appreciated by the audience. This is what one act play is all about. Go through this information one more time. This will be there for objective questions. MCQ असतात की वन क्वेश्चन 4 ऑप्शन्स चूज द करेक्ट वन, ह्यासाठी ते असू शकेल. आणि डिटेल क्वेश्चन असतील ते त्या ॲक्च्युअल प्लेवरचे असणार आहेत. ओके, सो इन दॅट वे वी हॅव कम्प्लीटेड दिस इनिशियल डिस्कशन of one act play. I will talk about each and every point in detail once I start reading the actual play. Till then, रिवाइज एव्हरीथिंग फ्रॉम हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंग्लिश ड्रामापासून सगळं एकदा वाचून काढा या पॉईंटपर्यंतचं. इफ यू हॅव एनी डाऊट आस्क मी. अँड जस्ट टू गिव्ह यू अन आयडिया, इन दिस whole week I am going to have a lecture every day to complete this. There is the rising of the moon, because that play is very lengthy and I don't know how much time is left. So I'll just have to cover that one act play. Probably in this week I'm going to complete it. So there will be lectures. I'll send you recorded lectures only. आपल्याला वाटलं तर एखादी आपण झूम मीटिंग घेऊया to discuss about the points, or if it is possible and if it is allowed, then I'll ask you to come to the college so that we can have face-to-face discussion. Till then, keep reading this, revise everything, and we'll continue, or we'll start with the actual one act play by Lady Gregory, The Rising of the Moon, from the next lecture. Till then, keep studying. All the best.